Good morning, everybody. So I get a lot of questions about how I do my makeup, so I figured it was time to make a video. So give this video a big thumbs up because I'm going to show you my everyday makeup routine, but I'm definitely going to show you guys how I cover up my hyperpigmentation, how I even out my skin tone with makeup while still achieving a dewy and glass skin look. Okay, so I always wear primer for any type of base makeup that I'm going to wear. For me, my skin, it's two reasons. Number one, my skin is a little bit oily most of the time, so it is good to have a little bit more of a base that the makeup can stick to. And number two, when you put a lot of skincare layers on, you probably will deal with your foundation being adhering a little bit less to your skin, maybe. So I think a primer is always a really good idea. And one of the ones that I actually really enjoy is the No Poreblem primer from Touch in Sol. Now this is definitely a primer that really smooths out your skin. So if you have any kind of pore issues, if you feel like your pores are a little bit big, that's exactly what this one is made for. It's a very silky primer. It does have quite a few silicones in it. That's what makes it silky, and that's what makes makeup stick to it. Now, another type of primer that I sometimes use, especially during breakouts, is a green primer, a green colored primer. You can get those from Innisfree. You can also get it from the Face Shop, has one as well. And basically the little bit of green tint cancels out redness on the face. That's why it's so good during a breakout, because it can really cancel a lot of redness on the face. Now, it doesn't show up green at all. It goes on clear, but there is a little bit of that green pigment and it just cancels out the red. So that can be a really good option if you're currently going through a breakout. I actually just recovered from a pretty bad breakout a couple of weeks ago, and as you can see, I have quite a little bit of hyperpigmentation pretty much all over my face, to be honest with you, because when I get an inflamed pimple, it's gonna turn into a dark spot no matter what, unfortunately. So my method with my base makeup actually really heavily relies on concealer. Because I wear a little bit more of a medium to light foundation, I do like to rely a little bit more on my concealer to do kind of the heavy lifting. And this is a great way, especially if you have similar issues to me, if you've got hyperpigmentation in certain areas, as well as, you want to cover up your under eye area, maybe a little bit of redness around the nose. This is a great technique because you're going to be covering up only the spots that need the extra coverage without caking on a lot of heavy foundation, which can look really fake and just quite honestly a little bit weird, right, on your face. So this is a great way to get around wearing really heavy foundation. Now, the concealer that I really like to use, especially for filming, which is when I wear a little bit of a heavier makeup, is the Bye Bye Under Eye from IT Cosmetics. Now, my concealer is actually almost gone. This is how much I really love this, but this has fantastic coverage, especially for active breakouts, because it just covers up so well, and it's really great for dark marks too. So it's not just for your under eyes. So I start with my under eye area first, and I actually just kind of bring it down to my nose area, because there's always just a little bit of redness around your nose. And if you even put just a tiny touch of concealer around your nose area, it can really make your skin look a lot more even toned. Now, on a really, really light makeup day, even this alone could be enough for me, but I do like to take care of my uneven skin tone just a little bit more. So going in with cushion foundation. Now, I do use cushion foundation for my everyday look, which is what we're doing today. And that's gonna be the Magic Cushion Moisture from Missha. And this is a really good one if you're looking for medium coverage, medium to light coverage, which is actually really hard to find in cushion foundation. You probably know, especially if you like a little bit more coverage. This is a good one to try because it's really lightweight. It gives you the coverage that you need. So I don't use cushion foundation for filming just because it's nice to have a little bit more coverage with all the lighting and everything. Video is completely different. So if you guys need something with a little bit more coverage for a special occasion or something, I would not recommend cushion foundation if you deal with more of an uneven skin tone or hyperpigmentation. Now, I do just like straight up foundation for filming or for special events. Unfortunately, the one that I have been using for years is discontinued, you guys. I'm so upset. I just found this out recently. So what I usually use is I'm Meme or I'm Mimi. It's Mimi Box? Mimi Box. So I'm Mimi, and it's I'm Foundation. This has been discontinued, and I should have known when it was 50% off and I bought two. I was like, whoa, 50% off. I should have known something was up. So I'm going to use up the last of my tube for filming, but then I'm going to be probably testing out VDL has some really great reviewed foundations, as well as Missha. I really want to try their Glow foundation. So let me know in the comment box below if you guys use any Korean foundations that you really like. The reason why I like Korean makeup so much is not because of Korean skincare necessarily, but it's because the color matches me better. So I just find that number 23 across almost all Korean brands is the best color match for me. And to be honest with you, I have struggled so much in my adult life to find foundation that matches my skin tone the right way. Because here in America, the drugstore foundations, they're getting better. However, the drugstore foundations tend to be really pink undertoned, and I'm yellow undertoned. So the pink undertones look really goofy on me, and it just kind of creates a line from my jaw of where I stop my makeup to my yellow neck. So I've always struggled to find the right color, and once I started using Korean products, they just match my skin. So that's why I tend to stick to them. So as you can see, my skin is still shining through the foundation. It still is peeking through. It still looks real. And I do still have some hyperpigmentation marks, but to be completely honest with you, when you have a good skincare routine behind you, when you have a healthy glow underneath your skin, even if a little bit of your hyperpigmentation or your acne is popping out, to be completely honest with you guys, this is a lesson that I have learned in my skincare journey. Nobody sees it. Everybody sees your glowing skin. So I've gotten a lot more confident with my skincare routine, even with, like today, I would say my skin, I'm not as happy with it as I generally normally am, because I said I am recovering from a bit of a breakout. And even with this popping through a little bit, my skin looks natural. It looks healthy. You can see that it already has even just a little bit of a glow, because this makeup is a little bit dewier. So to be completely honest with you guys, like, don't go so hard for wanting to cover up so much, because if you've got really good skincare routine behind you, your skin is just gonna glow healthy no matter what. So as I mentioned before, I do have oily skin. So not only do I want a primer to help my foundation and concealer adhere to my skin and spread on my skin a little bit better, I also want to set it with powder. This is really important if you feel like your makeup like slides around on you during the day, or if you get makeup like on your clothing, like the collars of your shirts and stuff, because when you like pull it over your head, your makeup is transferring. It might be a good idea to use a powder if you aren't already. So I like Innisfree No Sebum mineral powder. I've also used the same version from Etude House, and there's also a translucent powder from Skin Food. If Skin Food is still gonna be around, who knows? Their peach powder is great. What I look for in a setting powder is I look for a translucent powder, which means white powder. So nothing with any kind of color or pigment. In my experience, that just kind of makes your makeup look cakey because of all the pigment. So this just helps set your makeup. It helps keep it from going on your clothes. It helps keep it from settling too much into lines as well. And I honestly think that if you use a powder, you can prolong the wear of your makeup by a couple of hours. So brows are a really important part of any makeup routine, in my opinion. Brows just really frame your eyes. So I really like the Etude House Drawing Eye Brow Pencil. It's really inexpensive and it just does the trick. So I like to go for a straight eyebrow look, or as straight as I can get it. And that's really coming from the Korean trends too. There's a little bit of a straighter brow, looks a little bit more youthful, a little bit more friendly. What I like about this one too is that it has the brush on the other end. So what I do with an eyebrow pencil is I really just kind of help fill in where I might have sparse hairs. You can already see the difference, can't you? And now on one of my brows, I'm missing a little bit of hair off the top. So I do kind of fill in and kind of guide the shape there so that my brows look a little bit more even with each other, I guess is the best way to describe it. So up here, I just fill in a little bit more just with like really easy strokes, just to kind of help with that more straighter appearance. So I just kind of go with my natural brows, but I just try to make them look a little bit straighter, a little less arched. So I really like blush as a way to just add a little bit of color to my face, just to kind of make myself look a little bit more awake. I do find that blush actually helps with that. So I've really been liking the Lazy Enjoy little cushion blusher from Holika with the little Gudetama on it. And this color is, I don't know what color this is. Plum Jelly. The color is Plum Jelly. It sure took me a second to read that. It's just a little cushion blusher. As you can see, you would just put it on, just like foundation comes with its own little sponge. So I actually like to do my blusher a little bit closer to my hairline, higher up on my cheek. I do this for a couple of reasons. Number one, I like a little bit more of a natural kind of blush look, and I just find when it's kind of peeking out of your hair, it looks more natural. And B, I also find that when you put your blush a little bit more like here, it kind of pulls your face down because the line kind of pulls down. So when you kind of have it a little bit more up, it makes the dominant line kind of like go upward. So it kind of slims your face and makes your skin look firmer. As I told you before, I do enjoy the glass skin look, and one of the ways to kind of fake it on glass skin is definitely to use a highlighter. I really like liquid highlighters. I just think that they add to the appeal of that little bit more dewier look, whereas powdered highlighters, they don't necessarily add that dewy kind of finish, which I appreciate a little bit more in my makeup. So I like the NYX Born to Glow Liquid Illuminator. The color on this one is number 1. This is Sunbeam, and it's got a little hint of pink to it, which I like for my skin tone because I am a little bit warmer. So with a little bit more warmth instead of like a silvery highlighter. So I just put this on the top of my cheekbone, kind of like the edge of where I put the blusher. And then I also like to put the highlighter above, a little bit above the eyebrows. That kind of helps with that straight eyebrow look too, if you really enjoy that kind of more innocent brow look, I guess. I also like to put a little bit right on the top of my lips, the Cupid's bow, because it makes your lips just look a little bit fuller. And another tip that I like to do is I like to put the little bit of extra, just a tiny bit, not a lot, just a little remnant right here, right under my eye. Now this is a makeup kind of tip or trick that's kind of an older trend in Korea. It's called aegyeosal, and basically what it is like baby eyes. You're emphasizing the little like puffiness under your eyes. Now you might be like, whoa, I want to get rid of my puffiness, right? But this actually makes your eyes look bigger. It makes them more of the focus of your face. And it makes you look a little bit more innocent and young. So basically the highlighter is just kind of acting to reflect light off of the right underneath the eye, and it just gives you a more open-eyed appearance. Try it out. It is, like I said, it is a little bit like, why would I want to highlight right there? But it does make your eyes look a little bit more open and a little bit more awake. I do like to use eyeshadow primer. Now I do put my eyeshadow on top of my foundation. I don't do it before foundation. For me, I find that the foundation actually helps the eyeshadow to last longer and to look more vibrant. But if you still have problems with eyeshadow creasing, which I do, I like to put a little primer on my eyes. So the eyeshadow that I'm going to be using for today's look is from the Urban Decay Naked Smokey palette. And basically it's just a bunch of neutral brown colors. There's nothing too special about this one. I basically just go in for a light champagne type of color all over my lids. So I'm actually going to go for this first one here. This one is called High. You see how it's a little bit more of like a shimmery champagne color. My goal with my eye makeup is just to make my eyes look bigger. And this is just the technique that I use for any eyeshadow color look that I'm going to do. So I like to do the lightest kind of shimmery color on the top lids. I like a little bit of shimmer because I find that it bounces a little bit more light and it makes your eyes look just, it pops them a little bit more than say a matte shadow would. Now I like to go in for what I call the medium color. I use a 3-color technique. I don't know if that's a real word or like a real technique or not, but this is how I phrase it. It's 3 colors that I use. So the base is going to be the lightest one. So that's going to be all over your eyelid. Now the second color is going to be the medium as in from light to dark, so more of the medium color. And for that one, I'm going to go in for browns. So that is going to be this color here. This one's called Radar. It is a shimmer color as well, and it's just kind of like a little like rusty-ish brown color. I like to put this in my crease, the crease of my eye. If your eyes are a little bit more hooded, you can put this on the outer quarter of your eyelid. And I do like to pull it down into that area just a little bit as well. This technique can be used on any eye shape too. Like I said, you just kind of change the placement of the slightly darker colors. Okay, so you see how that kind of is already popping that eye area with just a little bit of that medium color. So third color is just gonna be just a little bit more darker. I'm gonna go in for this matte brown shade here. This is called Whiskey. So I'm just putting this in the corner here. And I'm just dabbing and dotting it in because we're going to blend in just a second. If you do have that smaller eye space, just put it on the outer corner, and this is just going to help emphasize the eye shape. So now what we're just going to do is blend it so that it looks really natural and it looks soft. I just blended the outer edges of the makeup that I did. And do you see how that made it look really soft compared to the harder line here? So that's the secret. You just got to blend. Or you can just go gently in with your fingers and do the exact same thing. You don't need all of these brushes or tools to get the look. Something else that I like to do just to kind of help emphasize my eyes just a little bit more is to go back in with that third darkest color, the matte brown Whiskey. So this is just the outer corner of my eye. And I just go in about halfway and then I go out. This works well for my eye shape. It just makes it look a little bit wider, and it just helps define my eyes a little bit more without using like a harsh dark color or even a eyeliner pencil, because the thing with eyeliner underneath the eyes, for me, I find that it smudges really easily, but for some reason the powder just works really well. It stays in place all day long for me, and it just kind of helps to define the eyes. Speaking of defining the eyes, I am an eyeliner fan, and you probably noticed that I do like to wear a darker eyeliner. It's kind of just one of those things I just think makes my eyes look really big and really helps pop them. So I do like dark liquid eyeliner. This is Dolly Wink. And this is their liquid eyeliner pen, and I really like this. It's a Japanese brand because it's just a brush, and it gives you a lot of precision. It gives you a lot of control. The way that I do it is I just follow really close to my lash line. Go flat because you'll have more control that way. And finally, mascara. I do like to curl my lashes. My lashes are quite stick straight, so curling them really kind of helps get them up a little bit, and which also helps make the eyes look bigger. So I just curl the top lashes, and then I'm going to use their Real from Benefit mascara. This is a pretty good mascara. It works pretty well to hold a curl, which is really my main concern with mascara. I also do wear strip eyelashes when I'm filming for you guys as well. I just think they look really nice on camera, but in everyday life, their Real mascara does the trick. And just a little bit on the bottom. And I just kind of sweep the bottom lashes outwards just to kind of help mimic that kind of cat eye that we've created here. One of my favorite Korean products, just generally speaking, is lip tints because they last on your lips. They stain your lips, but they are nourishing. They're not drying. I have extremely dry lips year round, so most Western lip tints are too drying, but I have found, generally speaking, Korean lip products to be very hydrating. And one of my favorite lines, I pretty much own every color, is the Pony Effect Favorite Fluid Lip Tint. This color is called Breath, and this is just a really good everyday kind of pinky, your lips but better kind of color. And what I like about this one especially is it, like I said before, it stains my lips. So even when it wears off from drinking water or whatever, I still have a hint of color on my lips that lasts throughout the day. Sometimes I kind of like to take it up a little bit, a little notch, and I like to go for that popsicle lips look, which is really popular in Korea as well. So I start with a base of this color and then I go in with another shade. So going back in with the exact same brand, this is Pony Effect Favorite Fluid Lip Tint. This is my favorite stuff. And this color is called Be Agape. So it's a little bit more of a red color, and the technique here is you do the lighter color all over your lips first, and then just going into the inner. Don't go all the way to the edge of your lip. So as you see, I added some nice dimension to my lips. It looks really nice, but it still looks natural. It's not as full and bold as a red lip, which I actually like to do as well, but every day, this is perfect. So that is my everyday makeup look. If you have any questions about any of the products that I use or any of the techniques that I mentioned, let me know in the comment box below. Also, let me know in the comments if you have any suggestions for any Korean foundations or base makeups that I should try, because as you know, I am on the hunt for a new one, so let me know. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I release 2 new skincare videos focused on Korean skincare every single week, and sometimes makeup videos. And if you turn on notifications, you will get notified the next time I upload the new video. So I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. I absolutely cannot wait to see you in the next video. Bye.